Welcome back to the podcast, Conversations with Jeff Bucknam. You may know Jeff Bucknam from hit TV shows such as The X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, and Silent Library.
Britain has talent?
I'm your
host.
host.
I think that's a misnomer.
It's the show that you were supposedly on. I'm your host, Wesley Cassford. Tommy forgot about you today.
I know. Do you know how many times I have meetings with Tommy that don't happen because Tommy decided that he's not going to show up?
Sorry.
It's pretty funny, actually. Yeah, I'm supposed to have a monthly mentoring meeting with him for his master's degree. Let's just say that he's not always diligent in keeping the appointment.
Well, I'm sure he's doing something important.
No.
Well,
but that's okay.
That's all right. Hey,
he was a bit sick earlier this week, so he's not here. But you're
okay.
here.
That's all right. Here I am. A lot happened this weekend.
What?
There was the TikTok ban.
Yes, they banned TikTok for like a few hours, and then
and then Trump said,
"Actually, just kidding."
Yeah, he said, "I'll delay it for a little while."
Are you on TikTok?
No, I'm not.
So I got to tell you, I'm not on TikTok, but I like the TikTok dances.
Yeah, some of them are fun.
I think they're kind of cool.
They can be fun.
Yeah.
Everybody does their own version.
Well, they do, and then they kind of one dance goes viral, and eventually everyone in the NFL's doing it. And yeah,
it's cool.
So if TikTok goes away, will we have those dances anymore?
Oh, for sure. There's people that's all they can do. That's
just
their
the dancing.
Only thing. That's they like make a living doing that, and they make
a living doing that.
House. Oh yeah, totally.
So they just do these little dances and stuff. Oh man, I'm trying to remember the name of the girl who I am. D'Amelio. Is that right?
Charlie.
Oh, see, we got a comment from our guest today.
Yep.
Who happens to be around the age that would have been really popular.
Mm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all she does is just the social media stuff.
Can you imagine if you had discovered, you just were making one of these goofy videos one day, and next thing you know, this is like your career, like Dude Perfect.
Yep.
Or there's a girl who played. My son played baseball at LSU, and she's a gymnast there. And Paul Skeen's girlfriend, what's her name?
Oh yeah,
Lynn's.
I forget, but she is famous.
No, she's famous, and I remember she was at the game. She always came to the baseball games, and I remember sitting in the aisle, and everyone around us was like buzzing with the idea that this girl was just down below, and I had no idea who she was because I'm old and out of touch. But they were like, "Oh my goodness, she's so amazing!" And they got up and walked over to her, and apparently got selfies with her, which is a big deal. And they came back, and they were sending them to all their friends. Yep. So then I was like, "Well, I don't know." Found out my son's friends with her, and I wouldn't know her at all.
You're basically,
but I do know her. I just can't remember her name at the present moment. What? Livy Dunn.
Oh, yep. That's her.
Livy Dunn.
Mm-hmm. Well, they talk about you're only three people removed from anybody.
Kevin Bacon.
So, I mean, hey, there's yours right there.
Yeah.
Pretty close. So yeah, TikTok happened. And then Donald Trump.
He did.
Yeah,
the Trumpful. I'm trying to make a joke there. Trumpful return of
he's back.
Donald Trump,
like the McRib.
Yes, and it feels like everybody has gone back to their seats when it comes to like, oh yeah, I remember 4 years ago where you used to think about this guy. So if you loved him, everyone's back in the I loved him seat, and then the I hate him seats. Everyone's like, oh yeah, I remember. I got to go back there now. Yep. So it's quite funny. I do follow. I get most of my news from X because I follow all the different groups, right? Yep. So from CNN to MSNBC to all like the standard groups, and then I follow the independent news guys, and it is very funny to see how many of them are upset.
Oh yeah,
about everything.
Yep,
all the time now.
Yep,
again. Yeah. And just at some point, you just want to say, can we just? I'll get along. I always felt like Joe Biden's success was our success.
Yes,
and Trump's success is our success. So
totally,
I'm cheering for all of them.
Yep.
I want them all to do well.
Yep.
But ultimately, you have to answer to God, right? All of them do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Did you watch the inauguration?
No. Do people watch this?
Oh, yeah.
Why would they? I mean, listen, I understand why people would do it. It's a big event.
Yes.
I have kind of a very American view on this.
Okay.
Which will shock you because I'm Canadian/American, American/Canadian. Okay.
Yep.
I don't think that we should treat the president like he's a king. It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. Why is it that we coronate a king every 4 years or whatever?
Right.
So we have a big celebration and he has a parade. Honestly, it's basically the same parade as the Queen used to have on her Jubilee. Yeah. But we're doing it every 4 years. You know what they should do? They should just be a firm handshake, pat him on the back, and get to work.
I mean, the swearing in, that's basically what we got.
Yeah. But then they do their speech, and then which I get.
Yep.
But then they have, 15 different things, and they have they go to the church for the beginning of first church service, and then they also have like a inauguration, and I don't know, man. It's just too much for it.
There was a lot.
People can sit down and they'd watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I watched the main. Like I watched him get sworn in. I watched his speech, and then I was kind of like, I don't need to see much.
I understand why people would want to watch it. It's they're historic events,
totally,
stuff
right.
like that.
Yeah, and that's why. So like I was showing my son. I was like, hey, look, this is doesn't matter who it is. This is what's happening, and I was explaining. He's now the president, and he was before,
and now he can do whatever he wants.
Now he's back. Yeah,
because he's the new king/president.
Here he's signing executive orders
to do whatever he wants.
Did you see that? He's doing it at the parade publicly, and he would show everybody, and they would all clap. There's a lot of clapping, unnecessary clapping.
Yeah.
I felt like everything he said that everyone would clap.
So do you think, I have this little theory, do you think that the Washington kind of establishment of politicians is like a high school? It feels like a small high school to me, where they're cool buddies. Kids and they're not cool kids, and every once in a while there's new kids who show up every year, but not very many of them.
And they bully each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and they talk about each other behind each other's backs all the time.
There's the people who were like, they would fight, and then now they're seniors and they don't care.
Yeah.
Because like Trump and Obama at Jimmy Carter's funeral just hanging out.
I know. And they get up and they say really mean things about each other, but behind, then they're buddies, and it's weird. The whole thing is a little bit odd to me.
It is quite strange.
Yeah. You know what else happened? Last night, we were recording on two days ago. The Ohio State University won the national title game
against Notre Dame.
And I have a Notre Dame hat.
Okay.
And so I was wearing the Notre Dame hat. I don't have an Ohio State hat. I get an article of clothing whenever I go and visit a university.
There you go.
So I visited Notre Dame, and I got a hat. And so this is the only thing I had. So I decided, I'll wear the hat. And I didn't care who won. But I decided I'd try to taunt the only Ohio State fan that I know, Sherri Smith.
Yep.
And I took a picture of myself with my Notre Dame hat. And as soon as I took that picture, moments later, everything fell apart for Notre Dame for the next most of the game. And then I am not kidding, I took the hat off. And then they started doing better. And almost came back. And then I put the hat on, and they lost. So here's what I'm telling you. I am the key to Ohio State's victory. I am the cosmic key.
Yeah. The Irish are probably good people to have on your side.
Yeah. Do you ever do that? You like sports enough to if you're standing in one position in the kitchen?
I like baseball. And with the Cubs, they've been up and down. Not as bad as the White Sox last season. That was pretty rough. Like the worst ever, right?
Yeah.
But mine will be if I watch it or not. Because I'll try and get it. And then by the time I turn it on, they're losing.
Yeah.
And then I won't watch. And they won.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I can't watch.
I either can't watch
because
or watch.
You're the cosmic key to the Cubs.
And then I tell my son, you got to wear your Cubs hat. And he'll just be, no, I'm not wearing it. Yeah. And they're losing. My son, you better put it on.
Do you know, it's funny because I believe in the one true God.
Totally.
And he is sovereign over all things. But it is funny how in your gut, you know it's not happening.
But it is.
But if your team's not winning, you'll switch seats.
Oh, yeah.
You got to go to the other part of the room.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You got to do something, figure out what socks you're wearing.
When I was watching a player in youth baseball, and he was pitching a no-hitter, and I didn't actually realize he was pitching a no-hitter until late in the game. Mm-hmm. And I said out loud, "Wait, is he pitching a no-hitter?" And the people around me were like, shh, don't, oh my God. And like a minute later, he gave up a hit. And I've never seen so many people angry with me. And so out loud to all of them, I was like, yeah, you know what? I jinxed it. I did. I have that kind of power over the forces of baseball.
Problem is, that was your fault.
They did. They said it's totally your fault.
Yeah. I was watching a baseball game. They did the same thing. The announcer was like, he's never had a no-hitter in his career.
And everyone's like, oh.
And then all of a sudden, boom. The other commentator was like, you're going to have to talk to him later.
Yeah. Apologize.
You have to apologize.
It's so funny.
That's tough. Speaking of no-hitters and baseball, we have a conversation today.
We do.
Today we have
somebody who's never gotten a hit in her life.
And yep. We know that for a fact. We did our research. We have Enola.
Yeah.
Enola McConville. I think that's how you say it. You know what? Thank you. She said I killed it for those who couldn't hear it. We're going to have a conversation because we believe everyone has a story, and we're going to get into that right now. We miss you, Tommy. Let's go.
You're not the first person supposed to talk.
There's no
It's
rules.
hard for you, though, isn't it?
It's a podcast. It is hard.
It's hard for you. You're like, silence. I have to fill the silence.
Yeah.
It's so awkward.
That's why I'm a teacher. It's perfect. There's never silence.
I'm sitting here with Enola Holmes.
Wrong.
Of the movie.
But hey.
Enola Holmes.
No.
Enola
Yes.
McConville. Mm-hmm. Your maiden name, though, is?
Varga.
Varga.
Yeah.
Varga.
Perfect.
Okay. And that is probably her password on most of her Varga.
No.
Well, you know how they usually ask, what's your maiden name and all that.
It's never your last name.
Enola, you're kind of Harvest royalty.
Oh.
From what I understand. You've been at Harvest
famous?
Bible Chapel for a long time.
Yeah, I think I have.
How long?
I don't know. Freshman year of high school.
Okay. That's a lot of years, though.
That's a lot of years. I can't do the math. Sorry.
You
do it.
You're an English major.
Exactly. So for high school, for college, 3 years working. 8 plus 3, 8, 9, 10, 11 years.
11 years. You've been a part of Harvest Bible Chapel.
Yep.
Are you from Chicagoland?
Like Illinois?
I don't know. Yeah, I ask the Chicagoland question, and sometimes people ask me what's Chicagoland defined as, and so I've.
Okay, yeah, I'm from Illinois.
Where in Illinois are you from?
Glenview. I mean, I lived in North Carolina for like 4 years, and then we came back. So I was born here, left.
Glenview's in the North Shore.
Yep.
I'm right about that, near Winnetka.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you're kind of a snobby kid.
I am.
What were you doing up there?
It's where I grew up. I was there for high school
With
and
your
middle school.
family, and you were there for high school and middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but before that, you didn't. You lived there too, though.
No, I was in North Carolina.
Oh.
So I was born here, and then in elementary moved to North Carolina.
Oh.
So I did my elementary cute stuff there, and then came here.
So what did your parents do to lead you down that tour? Like why did they go and move to North Carolina? What was going on?
Well, they had family there. So my parents are Romanian. There's a lot of us. We're part of the pocket. And so both my parents have like 8 siblings each. So half of them were in North Carolina. So I guess my parents were like, let's go live over there with the grandparents. And my dad's business was good, but then they wanted to come back because more family was here for my mom's side and my dad's side. and they wanted us to have better opportunities.
Yeah. Where in North Carolina were you?
Hickory, the middle of nowhere.
I think that's the town in Hoosiers, isn't it?
I don't know.
It is Hickory, Indiana, though.
It's Hickory, North Carolina is literally the smallest. It's like a dot in the middle of nowhere.
I think I've said this before. I was in Alabama once, and there's this in a town called Greenville, Alabama. Now, I'm not surprised you've never heard of it.
No.
There's a ton of Greenvilles all over the place.
Yeah.
That's what I learned. But in Greenville, Alabama, they have the original Piggly Wiggly. So I'm sure I've told this story before. I met the guy who runs the Piggly Wiggly. Anyway, we went to the front of the counter there because we were just driving through, and it said, like, the original Piggly Wiggly. And I was like, we got to go.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Piggly Wiggly's a grocery store. So anyway, we show up at this Greenville, Alabama place, and I get inside there, and I go to the front counter of the Piggly Wiggly with whatever, the bag of chips or whatever that was unique to Piggly Wiggly. And I asked the girl behind the counter, "Are you from Greenville?" And she said, "Yeah. Aren't you?" And I said, "No, we're from, that time, Canada." And she said she'd never met a Canadian before. And she said, "What in the world are you doing in Greenville, Alabama?" And I said, "Well, I'm buying, this is the original Piggly Wiggly." And she said, "I'm trying so hard to get out of Greenville, Alabama."
I'm sorry. So you went to Greenville, Alabama just for a bag of chips?
Well, because we were passing through and it said it had the original Piggly Wiggly. So I'm picturing Hickory
Is that
like Greenville, Alabama.
I would say it is.
Okay. What kinds of things do they have in Hickory? Is there like just one stoplight, or
I don't know,
more than that? Have you not been there?
No, I have. I was there this summer. I don't know. It's like a small town.
Okay.
I'm not a small town type of gal, so I can get pretty mean about it. So, and I married someone who's from a small town, so I'm watching my words and self-control.
What don't you like about a small town?
I like people. I like stoplights. I like food chains.
Okay.
I just like the options. I like to go to the beach, and I like the city vibe. I just like the options.
Yeah.
And country is
feeling connected.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't want to drive 30 minutes to go to the store. I'll never leave my house, and I'll die there. So.
And yet you kind of do here, though. It's like, that's what's so weird about living in the city or in a suburban community, is that it's 20 to 30 minutes everywhere. And yet you don't think about it.
Where do you live? It is not 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, it is.
No, I have 5 minutes from Jewel, 10 minutes to school, 10 minutes to an outlet, 15 minutes to, the cute Lake Michigan.
Do you still live in Glenview?
No, but I'm over at my mom's house often enough where
How far is your mom's house from your house?
18 minutes.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, my word.
Yeah, work's a commute.
Small.
I drive.
So, you went to Glenview High School? Is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. Glenview's a kind of a wealthy. I've ridden my bike through there. That's the only reason I know anything about it. So, sort of a wealthy area.
Yeah.
Very near the Home Alone home.
Yes. Yeah, because it's in Winnetka.
Yeah.
20 minutes. Yeah.
So, you didn't know that? Did you know that?
I did, but I forgot. I mean, I didn't go into Winnetka a lot. Like, I was really in the Glenview bubble and Northbrook bubble, and so the only time I went to Winnetka was to play New Trier in sports.
Can you give me the rundown of the best to worst towns in the North Shore?
Oh.
From a local North Shore girl.
Okay, I'm biased.
No, give it to me.
Well, I think Glenview is the best.
Okay.
Because I think second best would probably be Northbrook, and I'm basing this partly on schools too.
Okay. And listen, you don't need to have reasons. You can.
Okay, this is my Glenview, then Northbrook, then I would probably say Winnetka, Stevenson, and then Niles is last, and Maine East are at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Skokie's not considered part of it?
Well, Skokie is Niles West. Sorry, I said that high school. So Skokie is at the bottom, and Des Plaines is at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
And Niles.
So you lived in the best spot in the North Shore.
I did. I thank my parents. I want my kids to go there. I'm like, if I'm rich enough, I'll end up there.
Did you you work for a Christian school? I'm just going to tell you're not on the right.
Listen, God provides.
Are you, so did you grow up doing, what kinds of things did little Enola do?
I played a lot of volleyball.
Oh.
So that was my world in high school. I used to be a theater kid. Fun fact. I think that's why I'm so extroverted. That's like half my teaching career is like bringing back the acting classes and the acting camps from middle school. And then I had to pick between volleyball and acting, and volleyball was
So
it.
I have questions about both these.
Okay.
Acting camps.
Yes.
What do you do at an acting camp?
So it's in the summer where it's just like an acting class, but it's like a whole camp where you sleep
It's like a whole day long?
Yeah, you sleep there and then you do like improv as a session for like 2 hours. Then you have lunch with your friends there outside. Then you go back. Then you have a planned skit. Like you learn the acting and the confidence and the stage performance and how to memorize lines and dance. And it's cute.
Yeah, for a whole week.
For a whole week. So I did productions.
You should have played a character the whole week, like somebody other than Enola.
I was little. I was in middle school.
Okay.
I used to do the plays, so like the Winnetka
So
Theater.
did they put a play on at the end of the week when you guys were at acting camp? Or is there like a, okay.
It was like a mini skit. And then it was all at the Winnetka Theater. So I actually was there a lot.
So did you think that you wanted to be an actress?
I did, and a singer. So I used to do auditions for commercials.
Did you?
I was part of that whole world. I met Hannah Montana. It was cute.
Did you? What's she doing now?
Who knows?
Just kidding.
I don't want to know. I'm out of that.
Are you? So what would give me some of the commercials that you tried out, and I really do want to know what's it like to try out for a commercial. To walk me through the whole process.
This is like middle school me. Okay, let me think. It was auditions for like clothes and like family commercials.
How did you find out about them? Do you know?
Yeah, I had an agent. I was like really serious about this.
Okay. And your parents were like, yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I sang a lot, and so I had it in me. Like I thought I was going to be like a TV show pop star type of person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go to these, they'd say, hey, there's a casting call for this commercial or a TV show or something.
Yeah, so you'd have
and
headshots.
would it always be in Chicago? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So everything was here. So you'd have like your headshot.
Do you still have a headshot?
My mom has them all.
Oh, that sounds great. I would love to.
No, thank you. You
Okay.
can ask my mom for it.
Okay.
She'll give it to you.
So you had headshots, you go in,
Yep.
you give that to them, and then did they have something that you had to prepare beforehand, or did they give you something that you were supposed to read?
Yeah, so I had the script. So it's like applying for a job, but you've got the script, so you have to come prepared to perform it as a character that you want to be for like the TV show or whatever. And then you also have to prepare a song from one of the songs that they gave you. And so I prepared that, and then they would also, if you got a callback, would get improv. So it was like parts of these skits where I pretended to be a character I wanted to be. Yeah.
So, okay, but you'd go in and you'd perform it. How often? Now, could you percentage the callback to me? Like, how many times would you go in versus how many times you got called back? Or is that too specific?
I can't remember. I only remember like specific moments and scenes where I'm like, oh, I remember the room, and I remember them telling me to fix it, and I remember sitting in the waiting room, and I remember what my headshot looks like.
You'd have to sit there in the waiting room, wait to find out whether or not you got the...
No, wait to be called with all the other kids. It's literally like in the TV shows.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a season in my life.
What is the biggest memory you have, like positive memory you have in that of that whole thing? Where did you land a commercial or some sort of like callback that got you close to a TV show?
Yeah, I got a couple callbacks. I think my favorite memory, I just remember the camp, and I honestly remember one callback where I made it to the finals with this one girl. And then I was like, no, I actually want to play a sport.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
While you were doing
I was done.
Was it the pressure of it?
I think I was bored.
Okay.
I don't know. I think big picture was like, this is fun, but this isn't me.
Okay.
I don't want to be famous. I want to go to school.
All right.
So.
Well, you're on this podcast now, so
I'm famous.
Fame will.
I have my own podcast.
Fame will quickly follow.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about your own podcast in just a second. So you decided to go and play volleyball.
I did.
And what was your position in volleyball?
I was a libero because I am small.
Explain that to people. What is that?
Okay. It's the defensive person that wears a different colored jersey on the court, and they're like the captain of the back row. So they're supposed to be the best passer, and they're in the whole time, and you pass and do serve receive. And
is it the same as a defensive specialist?
Yes, except the defensive specialist isn't there the whole time.
Okay.
Where libero's there the whole time.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so because you were little, you got to do this.
I did.
Yeah. And what were the best teams you played for?
My high school team was really good. My junior and senior year, my junior year we went to state.
Wow.
And I played my junior year. That's how I got recruited. My junior year season, I got recruited for college because I had 3 girls that were playing Division I, and I was like, oh, I'm lucky to be on this team and play, because I'm like, not that I'm taking credit for my hard work, because my dad would be mad if I did that, but it was very helpful to have seniors that played at a higher level because it pushed me to be better. So that was one of my favorite seasons.
Who recruited you?
Judson University.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Did you always know that they were showing up to the game?
No. I was just there.
You were just there. So they did some recruiting, and you weren't aware of it. What would you have done I'm asking because I think it's interesting that you had this background with it's a pressure cooker to stand up in front of people and deliver lines for your thing. So it seems like it wouldn't have bothered you that much.
No. I mean, when I decided I wanted to play volleyball in college, I applied anywhere and everywhere, and I was just going to go that had a good education program and gave me the most money. So I was hoping that people would be watching me, but they don't tell you until you hit your junior year, and then they talk to you afterwards. So I was just always assuming people were watching me. And honestly, I mean, my parents were pressure enough, so they're the only people who can crack me. Like, I don't care about other people.
They were pressure enough?
Oh, yeah.
Did they wanted you to be great?
Well, my dad just knew the game so well. So sometimes he'd be my coach, and I'm a weak sauce, so I'd be like, stop coaching me.
Was he literally your coach, or was he like, hey, I'm on the sideline, and you'd look over every time you made a mistake and be like, I'm so sorry, can I eat my dinner tonight?
I didn't even have to look over. I could just hear him. Like in the brief millisecond pause, I can hear him talking to me on what to do. But I was great partly because of him, so it's fine. I can't hate him for it. Like, the amount of effort he put in training me, like, all my skill was from him anyway, so.
Yeah. And I always want to say, you can play sports all your years. Mm-hmm. And then when you become a parent of somebody one of the kid who plays sports, there is something inside of you that takes over, and you can't help it. And you're not sure what to do with it, because you're like, you can't control any of it.
Yeah.
And you desperately want to help, and you care more for them to do well than you did for you to do well. And now you desperately want to help, but you can't help.
I needed that a couple years ago. Where was that?
What?
Where was that statement? Maybe that would have made me a little bit nicer. Because I'm looking back and I'm watching my parents be parents for my siblings, because my brother's in his senior year and my sister's a freshman playing or running track. And I'm like, Dad, you're such a different person with my brother. You're so supportive and encouraging. You say the right things. Where was that for me? Like, I would be crying in the cars on the way home.
Because he's trying to figure out, are you the oldest?
I am.
Yeah, because he's trying to figure out how to do this, because he doesn't have a clue. And so what we do is, with our oldest, we end up making a ton of mistakes, and then the next ones get the benefit of our support. And you'll do the same thing, and respectfully, you will. I always want to tell people, you are not prepared for the emotions that will take over in your soul when your kids start playing high-level sports, and it's horribly addicting. If they're good, there is no joy like the joy that you have watching your kid do something that they're good at and succeed at it. Yeah. It's unbelievable. It's like crack. And because I know, because I spent a lot of time on crack.
Yeah.
But
are you going to cut that out?
No.
Okay.
No. The people know what they get here.
Yeah.
But it is, you get scared because you're like, I don't know what to do with all of these emotions. As a Christian, you know that you're in Christ, and that this doesn't really matter at the end of the day. You want your kids to follow Jesus more than anything else. And yet in the moment, you would give most of your digits on your fingers to see them do well.
Yep, and succeed. So
yeah. So when you, Lord willing, have lots of babies and they end up having
sports,
all that ability, then
D1 athletes over here.
There you go. There you go. Well, I know that's who when you got married, you were looking for somebody who was going to be able to give you D1 athletes.
Yeah, I got it. So I'm like, we're missing the height a little bit, but our kids if we have kids, they're going to be crazy athletic. Yeah, so I'm ready. So you went to Judson University. By the way, you have how many siblings? 2. 2 siblings. Mm-hmm. How much older and younger? You're oldest? Yeah, I'm the oldest. My brother is 3.5 years younger, and then my sister's 7 years younger than me. So it's like a 3.5 gap between all of us. Okay. 7 years. That's a long time. It is. It is. Yeah. But are you close with your siblings, or are you that much older than them that it's just the distance has made it hard? My sister's my best friend, so we hang out all the time. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. She's lovely, by the way. Tess? Yes, yeah. I've met her a couple times. She sings at the church. Mm-hmm. Beautiful voice. So do you. Thank you. And yeah, it's really great that you guys are involved. Mm-hmm. Judson University, though, you went there? Yes. And did you like it? I had a great experience. Yeah. It's a very different school than when I was there, just because of a lot of staff changings and whatever. But when I was there, the people that were there and my coach was phenomenal. And I know the education program was excellent. So I thrived. I loved college. Did you meet your husband there? I did. Okay. And how did you meet him? Oh, well. We met in the trainer where I had sprained my ankle the week before preseason, and I refused to not play. That's a fun story. I had a very old Romanian lady that I never met because I sprained it at the park, and we had heard that she fixes people. So I went to her. Like in a Eastern European. Yeah, went to her house at 10 p.m. Had never met her in my life with my mom, and she just clocked my ankle back into place, and I was good to go. So that was fun. But I was in the trainer just getting it taped before practice, and Noah walks in, just blood everywhere, and I was like, "Oh." So he was so handsome. You thought, okay. Yeah. He was so handsome, and manly because of the blood. And I was nervous. Was it his blood or somebody else's blood? It was his blood. Okay. He cracked his chin open diving because he was on the men's team, and they were just having fun. I was really mean to him. He was on the men's volleyball team. Yeah, he was on the men's volleyball team. I was on the women's. Mm-hmm. So we met in the trainer that day because I was like, "What happened to you?" He's like, "I cracked my chin open." Playing what? Volleyball? Wow, you must suck. Okay. Well, I'm Enola. Bye. And I ran out. And that's how we met. Yeah. It was, and the rest is history. But that's our. When you say the rest is history, did you immediately start seeing one another? Well, I was obsessed with him. So yeah, I found him. I knew he did his homework in the library. I found out he did architecture. So I would, go to the library, walk around, and I'm a nerd. So my homework was done by 4 p.m. And so I would help him with his. And then we also, I'm competitive. So I do I bet you suck at ping pong. I bet I can beat you. Oh, yeah? Let's play. And then if you beat me, then you have to take me out on a date type of thing. So. Oh, nice. Yeah. So, yeah. And then we started dating when he got to know me because our teams were really close. Yeah. So they hung out in group settings all the time. Yeah. And then he was like, oh, she's actually not blunt, sassy, and mean. She's actually nice. So. And then we dated. Or you just wore him out. No way. He's like, so how long do you date before you got married? 3 years. And then we were engaged for 8 months. Okay. So through all of college, because he officially asked me out in November, our freshman year. He had to ask my dad's permission and everything. To ask you out. Mm-hmm. Is that a Christian thing or a Romanian thing? Both? I don't know. I don't know. I think I don't know. I think it was a Romanian thing that I just kind of always assumed that all guys do that because that's, I think, our rule. And then Noah naturally did it without me having to have an awkward conversation of like, hey, you actually have to ask my dad if you want to take me out on a date. he did it anyway because that's how his dad raised him. So I was like, oh, bless that. Not awkward.
As a little bit of an aside here.
Okay.
What I'm assuming you grew up in the Romanian Orthodox?
Pentecostal church.
Oh, okay, Pentecostal church. So kind of Christian family all the way along.
Yeah.
Tell me something about the Romanian family, a Romanian culture that I don't know. Like, what is something that Romanian families and Romanian culture does that is a little bit unique and different? So I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Something I did hear actually about Romanian families, that you give buckets of money to each other for weddings.
Yeah. Yes.
Like huge amounts of money.
Yeah. Like a lot.
So that would be the gift.
Is
you
that
wouldn't
weird?
like sign up for a registry or anything.
No.
It's just you show up
just
your
money.
wedding and they're handing out
Cash.
Yeah.
We don't do gifts. Like, I didn't know that you bought people gifts for weddings. Because when I had my wedding, all my American friends got me gifts. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Just give me the cash. But that's not cultural. So, I don't know, because I don't know what's weird. I can tell you some things
Sure.
we do. Okay, let's see.
Is there a particular thing you eat, for example, on a Sunday? Or are there special holidays that your family celebrates because of your Romanian background and heritage?
I mean, we eat a lot of Romanian food. Like, everything is cooked from scratch. Like, everything. Like, even our chicken noodle soup, like the pasta is from scratch. We say that everything we cook is a Romanian version, so that's kind of funny.
What makes it a Romanian version?
Because we made it.
Just because you made it?
Yeah, and it's better. It's literally from scratch. Like, I learned how to make my mom's chicken noodle soup.
Wow.
It takes 4 hours. Super easy.
4 hours?
4 hours. But that's how I do it.
Okay.
I don't know.
So do you eat at home a lot?
Yeah, we don't go out to eat.
You wouldn't go out to eat because you think it's terrible, or because money, or because it's not Romanian?
Well, we're saving money.
Yeah.
Noah likes my cooking better.
Yeah.
And honestly, he likes my mom's cooking even better. So, I mean, we're going there tonight for free dinner because, hey, Mom, we're hungry and we want a home-cooked meal and nobody makes food like you. So can we come over?
Good. So tell me, what's a really good Romanian meal?
Oh, okay. I don't know how to describe it in English. It's called galuște. It's a soup. It's my absolute favorite. Only my grandma knows how to make it. My mom can't do it.
Galuște.
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 It's like the homemade chicken broth, and I don't even know. It's like you make your homemade, like, I don't know. It's like a dumpling version of a dumpling pasta, but it's airy.
Okay.
In the soup while you're cooking the soup with the chicken broth and everything. It's my absolute favorite. It's so good.
Yeah.
We like vinete, which is Noah's favorite. It's an eggplant spread. It's very similar to like Assyrian food.
Okay.
So if you've ever had like Assyrian food, we're kind of similar.
All right. No, I've never actually had Assyrian food, nor do I think that I have had Romanian food.
Wow.
Very, very much.
I know what I'm bringing you the next time I see you. I'll give it to Ethan because he has small group with Noah. I'll drop some food off for him.
Well, okay. I'm scared a little bit about the food.
It's good.
No, people say that, but I'm very picky.
Okay, well, how about after this?
Like, when you said just a second ago, when you said it's homemade chicken broth, I started wondering how you do that. Do you like squeeze the chicken?
What? No.
In the water or something?
You boil a big pot of water and you put a raw whole chicken in there and let it cook. And then you start putting all the vegetables and
Do you know what salmonella is?
Dude,
that sounds like salmonella in a pot.
Because you scoop all the bad stuff and then it's boiling.
All right.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
it's actually the healthiest thing you'll ever have. So all of the vitamins, I have it.
Unlike you, if it doesn't come from a cardboard box, I've got questions.
All right. But yeah.
So you finish school and you graduate with what degree?
Secondary education in English.
Did you want to be a teacher all along? Like, even when you were young, this was the thing that you were like, I mean, after you got over the actress bit, you were like, you know what, I'd be really good as a teacher.
I wanted to be a teacher my senior year of high school. Before that.
Why? Like, did you have a teacher that was really influential?
I did. I had a phenomenal English teacher. Ironically, I went to school to be like an elementary education teacher, even though he was a high school teacher. So for some reason, I never connected the dots that I wouldn't be doing what he was doing if I went to school for elementary. But I figured that out later and changed my major. But I loved kids. I always nannied. I always did camp counseling. So I was like, I love kids. I really love school. I like learning. I'm super social. And I like distinctly remember in 8th grade, I was helping a kid with their paper. It was like one of my classmates. And he was like, wow, you explain that better than the teacher. You should be one. And that just like, I am good at explaining things to kids who don't get it. So I think that just stuck. And then throughout time, like everything just kind of affirmed. I mean, I love my job, so.
Yeah, but you chose to be in high school instead.
I did. I changed it.
And is that because you have a particular interest in literature?
No.
Because I know you do. Like, you're a reader.
I am a reader.
Yeah, like weird reader.
I am a very avid reader.
Yeah, when you say avid, you mean like you read weird stuff.
No, like I read on 1.5 speed at all times and don't listen to me. Like I listen to audiobooks working out. Like music is. So
when you say you're a reader, you're a listener.
Yeah. But I also read, and I think audiobooks are reading. It's a story.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a story that someone's reading to you.
It doesn't matter. Don't take this from me. I'm a reader.
Yeah. So but what books, like if you had any choice of any kind of book at all that you could listen to or read, what would it be?
Oh, I love fantasy romance. Love.
Like both? Is that a category?
Yeah,
fantasy romance?
It's called romantasy. It's a whole genre.
All right. What is the best romantasy book?
Well, my favorite is A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Who is Rysand, Azrael, and Callum?
Cassian.
She has a shirt on right now that has the names of those names, and they say that Rysand is the High Lord of the Sith or something here.
Okay. Stop. You're killing it.
Okay.
You're saying it all wrong.
All right.
It's Rysand.
Rysand.
And he's the High Lord of the Night Court. And it's just like these guys with special powers. It's cool. I love it. It's my favorite.
All right.
My whole book club has read it. I made Noah read this series for me. I own it. I've read it like 5 times. It's like the one book series that I can read. Oh, I just finished it. Let me start it over
What
again.
do you like about it?
I think it's creative. I like the world because it's not real. I like that they have powers and are stronger than humans, so it's creative. I like the romance part of it because it makes me think of my marriage.
Okay.
So I just love the story. It's like an adventure, but it also makes me think of my life, and I'm like, oh my God.
That's
so
really
cute.
Good. So are there other kind of genre that you like? Like what other stuff do you like besides that? Would you sit down and read like a thriller book?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I honestly haven't had many books that I don't like. I'm just someone who has to change the genre often. So I get bored if I keep rereading the same type of book. So like I'll read some thrillers that my students recommend. I'm currently finishing Harry Potter for the first time. Obsessed. Love that. I love nonfiction historical books, like of people's real stories. Like
biography.
Mm-hmm.
Memoirs. Were you always interested in reading like this?
Yeah.
Even when you were young, you were always had kind of a book around you?
Yes, I did.
And you physical copy book, or are you okay with a Kindle type, that kind of thing?
I love my physical copy, but I think lately it's been audiobooks because I drive, and it's the only time I can fully read because, conviction.
Again, I just want to make clear that the word reading means to actually look at the words on a page and read them as opposed to listening to them.
I think this is
because the people who are currently listening to this podcast are not reading the podcast.
But it's not the same because this isn't a story. This is a conversation.
I don't think the words you're saying mean what you think they mean, is what I'm telling you.
Okay, well,
English teacher.
Listen, I do read the books that I audiobook when I get home. You can't take this from me.
No, that's fine. It's fine. No, seriously, make the words up. It doesn't matter.
I will.
I'm just going to make sure to remind my daughter who's in your class that that's the way it works. She can just make stuff up.
No, she can audiobook her books. She's still reading.
She is. She loves it.
Yay.
She actually, Enola, you've given my daughter actually a love for reading. And she's sitting next to me. Well, sure, her sister-in-law is also Riley, Bulldog, Riley Bucknam, but she's an avid reader, English major too. And so they talk about the books and stuff. And she says she really enjoys your class a lot because of all that.
Yay.
And you are, everybody who talks to me about you talks about you as like the perfect high school teacher, which is really interesting to me. No, it's seriously.
That's going to go to my head.
Well, it should.
Bob's going to yell at me.
It should. No, you have the right energy for high school. You're not a pushover, which is what you need to be, right? Yeah. And you're a talker and you're a connector. So you're not afraid. And a lot of high school teachers, if you're really kind of quiet and demure, and I'm not using that word in the trendy way, but like if you can kind of get run over a little bit.
Modest to yourself.
Right. But if you're out there and like you don't care and stuff, you just are able to connect with the kids. And I think that's the case for you. And so you work at Harvest Christian Academy now.
I do.
And you are English teacher there. I am. And how long have you been at Harvest?
This is my second year working at HCA.
Yeah. People, even last year, talked. They would mention to me how much of an addition you were to the staff there. I'm not kidding. Aww. And I don't ask, because I don't care. Just kidding.
Wow, that hurt.
But no, you should know that people are really positive. You have really positive influence. Sweet. In fact, several of them have asked me why you don't coach volleyball more.
Stop. I'm gonna get yelled at.
Are you not allowed to coach volleyball?
No, I am. This is just my first year taking a break. I've been coaching for 8 years, so I was burnt out. And truthfully, like, I have been craving a community, and volleyball doesn't really let that happen because every time we have games, it's on youth nights and small group nights, and it's every weekend, which means I don't get to have a social life. And I loved it. I've chosen it for 8 years. Like, I coached nationals all through college, and then every year teaching, I coached nationals, so I was gone. And this year, I was like, I want to see if I can be a better teacher and be a better wife, because I miss my best friend, and I want some time. I want to see what it's like. Yeah. So it's been a good year for me because I have a lot of energy, and I'm not burnt out. So.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll go back to it though? Maybe not. Maybe not.
I don't know. Sure. I don't know if I'll go back to coaching yet. I do have a dream with Noah that one day we are going to coach a college team together. Oh, wow. And he said that I will be the head coach and he's the assistant because we are truly the perfect balance, even with sports. And our mindset is very similar. And so he was like, Enola, we're making this happen.
He's your perfect balance in what way? What are things that you're good at that he's not? So and vice versa.
He is very organized. So he would help me with stats and seeing parts of the game technically that I wouldn't see. I am very emotionally driven, so I make better decisions on timeouts and how to respond in timeouts to get kids or younger athletes to respond and elevate and snap out of their funk. We're both like-minded when it comes to a mindset in a sport of that tough love and, not everyone gets to be a starter, so you earn it. I see you, and I'll tell you I see you, and I'll congratulate you for growing. Doesn't mean you get to be on the court. So I think we would balance each other out of, like, in my weak moments when I want to act emotionally or irrationally because I'm, angry or fueled, he'd kind of be like, relax. Technically, skill-wise, she's better. Keep her on the court type of stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. I think we'd be really good at it. Yeah. That's going to happen one day.
Oh,
it's
great.
Just like
all you college coaches out there looking for someone to replace you.
No. Later down the road, because that lifestyle, I can't have it yet.
Yeah, it's hard, and especially the way that college athletics are changing.
Oh, yeah.
It would be very difficult to step into that world right now and try to make sense of it because things are so shifting all the time now with all of the different recruiting and transfer portal stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You and your husband are kind of opposites then.
Oh, yeah.
So he's quieter and you talk all the time.
Correct.
Okay. So if people are at your house, they would hear one voice a lot. Your neighbors hear one voice a lot.
Yes.
It's not his.
It's not. But when we're alone, he talks so much.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I'm brain dead after work because I socialize. So it's hilarious because I socialize all day at work.
Yeah.
And he'll come home and he'll be like, I had the best day ever. I didn't have to talk to anybody. And I'm like, I would die.
Like a dream.
I would die. But then he talks my ear off, which I love a lot because he's very passionate about what he does.
Yeah.
His friends would say he's a talker. So sometimes people who have known him in his element, they're like, Noah's an introvert? What?
Yeah. Most people are like that, right?
Yeah.
That they're quiet and stuff.
Yeah.
Unless they're in a setting where they feel comfortable, and then all of a sudden they share all the time. My wife's an introvert, but she talks all the time when she's with me, which is delight. Yeah. So what do you do for fun now? Not just for fun. What is your life consist of? Because school, you spend a lot of time at school.
I do.
And then grading papers and those sorts of things.
I grade only during work hours.
Okay. And then you come home cooking, I've heard.
I do. I cook. I read. I love art. So if I need a brain break, I'll draw or I'll paint. And if not, then I'll play volleyball. I do a league, so that's really fun. So you're playing. It's like an adult league. Yeah. So that's really fun because I would rather do that than coach. So I'm getting my, volleyball fix, and it's less of a mental, emotional game because it's just me, and it's fun. And I'm like, okay. And you get money out of it. So that's really, it's my date night money. So you serve at the church too. I do. You're involved in different things. What do you do at Harvest? I worship. I am a small group leader for some sophomore girls at Meadows. Oh. So I've been with them since 6th grade. Oh, wow. I have been with them since the beginning, and they only have 2 more years. That's going to be so sad. But, I've been with them. I worship sometimes. Yeah. Have you been involved singing in worship services for a lot of time in your life? No. Just, I think, a lot this year. Okay. This past year. Before that, I didn't really do it. Okay. Why not? Well, I think personally, it was really hard for me because in the Romanian church that we grew up in, I used to sing a lot. Like, I have been on stage worshiping since I was 3. And I think there I got lost that it was a performance. And so my freshman year in high school, when my family transferred to Harvest, like this whole new concept of God and studying the Word and what God really cares about was just really foreign for me. So I was kind of, balancing like, wait, what do I believe? What's biblical? What's cultural? All my friends from the Romanian community that I'm now losing, they're asking me these things and I can't defend why I'm living differently. So I took a break from worship because I didn't understand the purpose. And it felt like a performance to me, and it felt like if I wasn't singing solos or I wasn't great or amazing, that, I don't know, a punishment, or my heart wasn't there, and that's not right and that's not fair. So it was just a season of like, let me just be in the congregation and worship the Lord by myself. Yeah. So, Do you have your own congregation? Is this just you? You're alone? There's nobody else with you? It's just you? When I'm in the congregation, it's just me. Well, you're the only one who matters, Enola. Yeah. So Jesus cares about my worship. Okay, where's the name Enola come from? Oh, my parents actually, when they were pregnant with me, they watched the movie Waterworld. Yeah. And the main character's name was Enola, and she had that whole map on her back, so she saved the world and was a survivor. And so my parents were like, ooh, our girl will be a survivor. So okay. Yeah. And how old were you before you learned that it was alone spelled backwards? I always knew. Did you? Oh, yeah. I mean, I was in school, and my teachers would be like, are you after the Enola Gay, the airplane that bombed? And I'm like, no. You say, that's right. And if you don't keep your mouth shut, I'm going to drop one on you. I would just be like, you're dumb. Don't talk to me. But I was a mean person. No, Noah's humbled me. I'm very kind now because of my husband. I promise. I gave him that. Don't lose the fire, Enola. I won't. You got to bring that. God made you with a little bit of spur in you, so you might as well keep it. I will.
Thank you so much for talking to me.
Yeah.
You said before this we started talking that you've had like 3 conversations with me and they've all been short.
Yeah.
And then you said that this would be the longest one and
not awkward.
Well, why was it awkward before?
Because they were so short and we didn't know each other, and I like that. It was that one time when I was leaving small group and you were just in the hallway on your computer at like 8 p.m.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, and I was just like,
it makes it so I don't have to talk to anyone.
Well, for some reason I started talking to you, and then I would catch myself of like, why am I talking to him? He doesn't even know me.
Yeah.
So I would just be like, hey, bye.
Well, I've always appreciated your forthrightness and assertiveness in getting to know new people.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's awesome. Mm-hmm. So next time we see each other, you can talk to me a little bit more and we can talk some volleyball. And yeah.
Great.
But thank you so much for getting together with me.
Yeah.
Do you like any... Oh, forget it. I'll ask other things.
What?
Enola and I are talkers, so we're going to talk after this too.
Wow, is our time over?
Yeah, it is.
You didn't even ask me about Jesus. What kind of podcast is this?
There were little bits and bobs in the middle there about Jesus and about your church.
I really thought all of this was the starter. I was like, okay, so when are we going to get into the testimony?
It was the introduction.
The whole podcast was an introduction.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have you again sometime, Enola.
Okay.
I promise you. And next time we'll get your take on various sundry.
Huh?
Is that a phrase that you know?
I don't know what that is. Sorry.
Maybe we need a new English teacher at our school.
No,
Anyone?
listen, I'm
youthful.
youthful.
You don't know what various
I'm
sundry is? I'm just, come on.
It's fine.
Bob, I bet Reisend would know. Reisend in Austria.
Stop it.
Anyway, thank you so much. It's great to
fun.
talk to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to the rest of you next time.
Okay, bye.